Good evening from California. We are live. We are here. We are now. Me, you, and so grateful to be with you. We just had a amazing first day of the retreat, the Bigelow retreat here in Sonoma County, California. Beautiful group of people filling the space today. And the theme of the retreat is the science of magic. Science of magic. So we explored the magic of life, the miracle of life, the wonder of life, and how this magic, this miraculousness, this awesomeness, this wondrousness is here and now. Hi, Danielle. And always here and now. Hi, Janie. And there's a sense of stepping into this space in a resonant field together that is the most incredible feeling that one can ever possibly experience. It's like being hooked up to an electric socket, and the electricity is moving through you from the source, and it's connected to a group. So in this case, a group of like a dozen people, right? And there's just like a unified field of resonance. Nervous systems interconnected, intertwined in a positive feedback loop of love, of freedom, of empowerment, of unmitigated, infinite possibility to allow the magic to move through us, to be an open, clear channel for Source, for Spirit to move through us. So in this space together, and the foundation of this space is presence. The foundation of this space is being present, being here, being now, being in a space that allows the universal creative intelligence to move through me in this moment, and thus invites you to do the same. Thanks, love. So in this space of universal creative intelligence that moves through me and invites you to do the same, there's a resonant field of unified consciousness that allows magic and miracles to come into being that otherwise we wouldn't be aware of and wouldn't be able to participate in. The magic and miracles is always here. God is always here. This ever-present love, unconditional love, freedom, empowerment, inner peace is here and available. The question is, are we available? Are we available to participate? And so to be available means our ideas of the way we think it's supposed to be, the way we think it should be, the way we think it should have went, the way we think it should go in the future, the people we're trying to get back against, the people who wronged us that we want to get back at, the people in the future who we're trying to compete against, and so forth and so on. All this stuff, this mental noise can quiet down and allow the magic to move through us. So it's not a process of addition, it's really a process of subtraction. It's not a process of knowing, it's a process of unknowing. It's not a process of filling, it's a process of emptying. It's not a process of effort. It's a process of effortlessness. It's not a process of struggle or force. process of relaxing into this moment, melting into the now. And when we relax into this moment, the authenticity of who we are is allowed to shine through. The magic and miraculous, the inherent nature of who and what we are is allowed to shine through. So it's one thing to talk about it on a Facebook video. It's another thing to experience it in a group of willing and eager and conscious and intentional participants on a shared mission together, on a shared sense of purpose together, to open into this space together. And these are people that don't necessarily know each other so well. Some may not, right? So what you discover is this sense of feeling at one with others or with another, this sense of feeling at rest, this sense of feeling at home, this sense of feeling attuned, this sense of feeling of family is not based on knowledge. It's not based on the story of the other and whether we like the story or not, or whether we like they like our story or not. So the question is there a love that's not dependent upon the story of the other? Is there a love that's not dependent upon the story of the other? And the answer is yes. However, we have to get to a deeper place first, which brings up this question. Is there a love for ourselves that's not dependent upon the story of ourselves? Is there a love for ourselves that's not dependent upon the story of ourselves? So that means if we feel like we succeeded in a certain venture in one day and failed the next day, if we're feeling like we're winning here, we're losing there, all of this is in the realm of the story of me. Is there a love, a self-love, an absolute love that's not dependent upon the story of me, which goes up and down, high and low? Is there something that's a ground of being? Is there a love that's absolute, that transcends time and space, transcends the temporary passing conditions? When we discover that love, we discover a love that's not dependent upon anything. This is where love and freedom, we realize, are the exact same thing. So many of us struggle in this pull between love and freedom. Feel a sense of conflict between love and freedom. Feel this conflict in relationships. Feel this conflict in our lives. Wanting to feel a sense of connection, but wanting to feel independent. Right? Wanting to feel a sense of communion, but wanting to feel able to do what we want when we want to do it. And there's this space, the deepest space, when you come into the deepest essence of love, or if you come into the deepest essence of freedom, you recognize and realize that love on the deepest level and freedom on the deepest level are the exact same thing. And they both arise from the deepest sense of knowing and realizing who we really are. Recognizing and realizing a love and a realization of who and what we really are beyond the temporary passing conditions. who is it, what is it that's unchanging? Who I am really is that which is unchanging. So first we explore that which is changing, right? To know that which is unchanging, let's first explore that which is changing. So the body, my physical body, is always changing. It won't even be here much longer, like that, and we'll be gone. Our thoughts are always changing. Emotional self is always changing. The money in our bank account is always changing. Relationships are always changing. Living conditions are always changing. Material assets are always changing. So we tend to be looking for security and steadiness and safety in things that are always changing. And this causes this underlying inherent sense of anxiety and stress, because on the deepest level we know the truth. What's always changing? Everything. As we discovered today in our retreat, everything is always changing. Everything is always changing. So what is it? Who am I really? If everything is always constantly changing, who am I really that's unchanging? Where can I find this sense of peace? Where can I find this sense of freedom? Where can I find this sense of unconditional love? Where can I find this true sense of empowerment? And this is where we enter what is often called the spiritual realm, which in this case means we recognize and realize that who and what we really are is not a thing. It ain't no thing. Who and what we really are is not a thing, because everything is always changing. So that the essence of who I am, which is unchanging, is not a thing. It's not a form. It's not a shape. It's not a size. This is what we call illusion. This is what we call the dream. It's such a beautiful dream, this dream of time and space, this play of form and colors and sizes and shapes and spaces and times and people and goats and cows and horses and grass and clouds and trees and sidewalks and so forth. However, who we really are is not a thing. Who we really are is no thing at all. And when you recognize and realize that who you really are is no thing at all, not as an idea, not as a concept, not as a belief system, not as a new belief to cling on to, not as a new ideology, not as a new dogma, when you really truly recognize and realize through deep, sincere presence and observation, the science of magic means by the observation of observing the truth in the moment and recognizing and realizing who you really are in this moment, now, that which is unchanging is not a thing, the ground of being that transcends everything and includes it. When you recognize and realize this universal, timeless truth that all the great spiritual teachers have pointed to throughout history, then, and only then, there's boundless freedom. Boundless freedom. Infinite freedom. Boundless means there's no borders. Boundless means there's no limits. Boundless means unlimited freedom. Now, here. What do you need to do to get this unlimited freedom? Nothing. No thing. There's no thing you need to do to get this boundless, unlimited freedom. In fact, anything that you try to do to get this boundless, unlimited freedom obscures the freedom that's inherent and ever present now. Always. Anything you do to try to accomplish this freedom, any strategy you create, any kind of process or steps to get to this freedom, is delusion. The freedom is now. Heaven is now. God is now. Love is now. Inner peace is now. Where else would it be? There is nowhere else but now. So to really wake up, to come in the space of awakened consciousness, really means to recognize and realize the essence of who you are is not bound by time. When you feel like you're time-bound, there's an inherent sense of suffering that's present. Suffering is only a signal that means you're off course. You're not seeing clearly. You've lost the essence of who you are. And it's there to bring us back into alignment with the truth of who and what we really are. And to live from this place and to express from this place of unbounded, unlimited freedom, unconditional love, the deepest depths of inner peace and empowerment in this world. Empowerment because we're not looking for anything outside of ourselves anymore. And the reason we're not looking for anything outside of ourselves anymore is because there is nothing outside of ourselves anymore. The whole outside and inside duality falls away. There was one of our amazing participants at the retreat today. We were doing like a toning exercise. We were sharing music together, vocally, and got into an amazing vibrational field together. And beautiful music was being shared. And then we had some space for reflection after the exercise. And she said, usually I'm really concerned about what people think about me and as far as my singing, but I noticed I didn't care what other people thought about me in this space, and I just let myself go, and I felt so liberating. And it was beautiful to hear her say that, because when you awaken to this consciousness, first of all, if you realize that so much of the suffering that happens on this planet is rooted in self-consciousness. So much of the limitation that happens is rooted in self-consciousness. So much of the disempowerment, the anxiety, stress is rooted in self-consciousness. So self-conscious means worrying about what other people are going to think of you. What are people going to think of me? How do I look? Do people like my shoes? How's my hair? Do people like my hair? Do people think I'm weird? Do they think I'm not normal? Do people think the things I think? Do they feel the things I feel? How can I fit in? All this, right? So when you awaken and realize of who you really are, the sense of self-consciousness goes. And the reason it goes is because of the simple yet profound, earth-shattering truth that you realize that that's not your true self. That was a story of you. That was an idea of you that you were trying to cling to, protect this little tiny self that you're trying to hold on to cling on to, that you're attached to. But now you recognize and realize this boundless, infinite essence of who you are that transcends self-consciousness, meaning really egoic consciousness. So when this woman says, I notice that I'm usually care about what other people think when I sing, but I noticed in this space today I didn't. And I said, yeah, because there's actually no one else here. The only person here is the one. And you are that one. And we go into a space where we open and activate and resonate in this consciousness together in an experiential way. So it's not just intellectual conversation, it's literally being in this space of unified consciousness together, connected to the source. And this is what's going to change the world. It's not the political election or whatever that nonsense is. It's not anything outside of yourself. It's not anything outside of yourself. You are going to change the world. You. If it's going to be changed, it's going to be changed by you, not anybody else. Because there is only one, and you are that one. And this world's calling for your own unique expression to be shared in this world. And when we align with the source, when we align with the essence of who we really are, then we flower and bloom like a unique wildflower on the side of a mountain in the sunset. There's a unique expression of who we are that no one else can emulate but you. No one else can embody authentically and share your unique gifts, but you can. So there's this beautiful paradox of recognizing the unity, recognizing this space that transcends form and time and space, where we are one in the infinite essence, and each, as we express ourselves in the world of time and space, each a unique expression. And there's a deep appreciation for the authenticity and individuality of each individual, moment by moment. So, great first day at the retreat. We're back again early morning tomorrow. It's great being in California, Sonoma County, Sebastopol. Next week I'll be in Mount Shasta, still some space for that retreat, the Sacred Alchemy Retreat, where there will also be some co-facilitated reading yoga and breath work and lots of great things ahead. I'm going to be doing some personal sessions here as well, but it really feels like there's this new, like a spark of some kind that happened today, and it's been on the verge of happening, but it just kind of caught fire today, and it feels like we're just going to be grounding here for a while, be sharing satsang pretty much every night this week, and just allowing this organic sangha that wants to come together. People are having amazing openings of the heart, consciousness exploding, popping open to the infinite essence beyond any beyond of who what we are, the boundless freedom and the depth of love that's present now. And from this space, the question is, what do we want to create? That's the question. If anything's possible, which anything is possible, what do we want to create? That's the question. That's the question we live in now. We live in this question. The days of looking how to survive, the days of survival are over. Now the question is only what do we want to create, right? There's a sense of well, you know, another thing interesting that happened, and I'm gonna jump off of here soon, but we did another exercise. It was another variation of the toning exercise, and when we had space for feedback and reflections, someone said, "Well, that was a fun game to play." And I had this kind of spark in my consciousness when she said that, because there was this feeling of, I had this feeling of being on my deathbed, you know, after living a long, full life, and I'm laying there, you know, and the breath is leaving me. Breath is leaving me, and someone says, "Do you have any last words before you go, before you die?" And I look, and I say, "Well, that was a fun game to play." and it's true. Like when you awaken to this consciousness, the what they call in the East a lila, it's a play, it's a dance, it's a play of form. You know, you don't have to take it so seriously. You don't have to be so weighed down by it. It's just God changing shape and size all around us. It's the timeless creating the story of time, space. So it's a fun game to play, being human. Being fun means it includes pain, it includes pleasure, it includes sadness, it includes happiness. If it was just the same constant, dull, boring sensation all day long, it wouldn't be fun. Fun means you don't know what's going to happen next. That's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes it engaging. That's what makes us curious. That's what makes it adventurous. It's a fun game to play. But only if you play it. And if you realize it's for play. It's a game. It's like God separating into infinite number of forms to play and dance. The Creator, the sacred, the divine, to play and dance with itself in all its various reflections. So it's beautiful to play and dance with your reflection right now, in this moment. Carry this energy forward with you as we move forward, wherever you are, whatever time it is, wherever you watch this. I know most of you watch it on playback. And let's just take a moment of silence before we go. One of the things that's really powerful on our retreats is the silence space. And I know a lot of you have been writing me or talking to me saying you've been watching the videos and trying to understand what I'm saying, as if what I'm saying is complex and complicated. And maybe it is complex and complicated on a certain level, but on a deeper level, the words are not so important. What's most important, and what the invitation is to feel the presence that's here, beyond the words. If you don't understand the words, the transmission is still present. The presence is still present. The love is still present. The joy is present. The inner peace, the sense of being at home now, the freedom, the unbounded freedom is here now. There's people who watch these videos that don't even understand English, that are benefiting so greatly, and probably in many cases more so than people who understand English, because the words, it's just like poetry, you know? The words are not so important. What's important is so simple, yet so profound and revolutionary to the human condition. So simple yet so profound and revolutionary to the human condition, because in the human condition, we're trying to solve problems through thinking. Thinking is what created the problems. Thinking is what creates the illusion of the problems. And thinking is not what's going to solve the problems. What's going to solve the problems is an intelligence that transcends the thinking mind, the story mind, the mind of cause and effect. So when we're quiet, when the mind is quiet, clear, like crystal, and we're present, and we're here, we become a clear, open channel, mind, body, heart, spirit, for the universal creative intelligence, also known as God, for the source to move through us. Without resistance. In a unique expression of who we are, moment by moment. And then we don't need to know what's going to happen next. We don't even need to know what's happening now. It's like an openness that allows the intelligence to move through us when we rest and relax into this space of not knowing. The truth reveals itself moment by moment. And then magic and miracles move through us. Amazing things come through us that we would never be able to do through making effort, through striving, through struggling in the egoic consciousness. We become the hands of God, the hands of this highest universal creative intelligence to move through us. Moment by moment. So let's just take a moment to be here, be now, present together, in the infinite magic that's here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. You are more wonderful, magical, miraculous than anything you could ever comprehend or understand with your thinking mind. See you in the next now.